Colds, flu, these are the most common infections in the Western world. Symptoms are familiar. Often they are mild, but sometimes they knock us down and drag on for weeks.
Well, people think that to get cold or flu every winter is normal and trivial, but actually it's not. For one thing, there are significant economic implications, both in terms of time lost off work and costs to the healthcare system of people seeing their doctors and having medication prescribed and even being hospitalized. And older people die every year as a consequence of secondary infection, not actually the flu itself, but an infection that occurs because the flu weakens the immune system.
Colds and flu are caused by more than 200 different viruses, and these can be found all around us. It's a tough job for our immune system. So it's no surprise that every now and again, even the healthiest will pick up an infection.
I might have seen over 30,000 patients with respiratory tract infections and its complications. And from the very beginning of my work as a medical doctor, I included herbal medication as a very good option to treat my patients.
In his clinic, Swiss ENT specialist Dr. Schapowal found echinacea to be one of the most useful remedies for colds and flu.
Echinaforce prevent respiratory tract infections, and second, it's very good means to treat an acute infection.
In 2012, the claim that echinacea can prevent colds was put to the test in a large clinical trial with almost 800 people.
In the trial, we found that patients who were taking Echinaforce had fewer colds, but also Echinaforce was having greater benefit in those at more risk. People who had higher stress levels, people who are getting less sleep, smokers, etc. These higher risk groups seem to get even more benefit from the Echinaforce.
More recently, experts from around the globe gathered at the Royal Society of Medicine in London to discuss some of the latest scientific studies. Dr. Peter Fisher presented research looking at how echinacea can help flu, a more serious and difficult to treat condition compared to the common cold.
The objective of the study was to assess whether a new preparation of echinacea, that's called Echinaforce hot drink, was as effective as the gold standard treatment, which is oseltamivir. And what we concluded is that Echinaforce hot drink is as effective as the gold standard treatment, oseltamivir, in terms of reducing the duration of flu, reducing the duration of fever. It's as effective in reducing the number of complications, bronchitis and so on. And it's better in terms of the number of side effects, particularly stomach trouble.
In another study, Professor Sebastian Johnston, a respiratory specialist, looked at data from 6 separate trials involving over 2,400 participants.
So after combining all these studies and doing the analysis, we were able to show that if you take echinacea for a long period of time, a few months, that recurrent colds were reduced by about 35% and complications of those colds were substantially reduced.
What he discovered is that echinacea reduces the risk of developing conditions such as pneumonia, bronchitis and ear infections. These are known as complications and the reason why colds and flu can drag on. This is a hugely significant finding. No other medicine has, to date, been shown to have this effect.
Many people prefer to take a natural herbal treatment to a synthetic drug. We now know that it's just as effective, particularly as you can buy it yourself over the counter.
Early treatment of colds or flu is key to a swift recovery, so it's a great advantage that echinacea is readily available in many stores all over the world. However, not many people realize that the echinacea products you see on shelves can be quite different. At A.Vogel, we have learned that echinacea is most effective when herbs are used when still fresh, within a few hours of harvesting. This was how our founder, A.Vogel, made his original remedies decades ago. He said fresh herbs have a wider and deeper action in the body.
I've been fortunate enough to go out and see where the echinacea is grown in Switzerland and how it's processed and how it's standardized with great care. So you know you're getting a really high quality standardized product. And for clinical trials and as a patient, that is for me an absolute priority.
A.Vogel's echinacea remedies are used by people all over the world to prevent as well as treat acute colds and flu. Today, science shows us that there is more. Fresh echinacea extracts can help you get better faster and reduce the risk of complications. This makes A.Vogel's fresh echinacea products even more invaluable in today's urbanized world. A remedy with the ability to make a positive difference to health for all of us.